island of Whimsyway. Pivot lived in a place called Whimsyway, where the world never stayed the same for long. One morning, the grass might be as purple as grapes, and by lunchtime, the trees might decide to grow upside down. In Whimsyway, the only thing you could count on was that everything would change. Pivot's grandfather, Verve, was the calmest person in the village. No matter if it rained marshmallows or if the ground turned into bouncy custard, Verve always had a twinkle in his eye. He often told Pivot, "We cannot tell the wind which way to blow, but we can always choose how to set our sails." One Tuesday, the great shift happened. The gravity in Whimsyway suddenly took a nap. Everything that wasn't tied down began to drift toward the clouds. Books, bicycles, and even the garden gnome started to float away into the bright pink sky. Pivot felt a knot of fear in her tummy. She tried to grab onto the porch railing, kicking her legs wildly. The more she worried about the floating world, the faster she seemed to spin. "Stop it! Go back to normal!" she shouted at the sky. But the sky didn't listen. High above her, Verve was floating too, but he wasn't kicking or shouting. He looked as relaxed as if he were taking a nap in a hammock. He drifted through the air with his arms tucked behind his head, watching a flock of floating teacups fly by. "Grandpa Verve," Pivot called out, her voice trembling. "How are you so still? Everything is wrong. I can't fix the ground, and I can't stop the floating." She reached out a hand, hoping he could pull her back down to the safety of the porch. Verve caught her hand and pulled her into a gentle spin. "Sweet Pivot," he said softly. "You are trying to change the world outside, but the world does what it wants. The only thing you truly own is the spirit inside of you. If you have faith that you are safe, the chaos cannot shake you." Pivot took a deep breath. She closed her eyes and stopped fighting the air. She thought about her favorite memories and felt a warm golden light grow in her chest. She realized that even if the world stayed upside down forever, she was still herself, and she was brave. Suddenly, Pivot didn't feel like she was falling upward anymore. She felt like she was flying. With her new attitude, the floating world didn't look scary. It looked like a grand adventure. She pushed off a floating mailbox and did a graceful somersault in the air next to her grandfather. The great shift eventually ended, and gravity returned. But Pivot was different now. She knew that life would always have storms and surprises she couldn't control. But as long as she kept her heart bright and her attitude positive, she had the strength to turn any challenge into a dance.